Most people wait until mosquitoes are already circling their ankles, whining in their ears, and ruining the evening. The smarter move is earlier than that. You make your porch, path, patio, and garden smell wrong to them before they settle in. And that is where the right plants start to matter. Now, one truth before we count down. No plant is a magical force field. A pot on the porch will not erase every mosquito in the neighborhood. Extension experts and public health guidance are very clear about that. Aromatic plants can help make a space less inviting, especially when their scent is released, but standing water control still matters, and in high-risk areas, proven repellents still matter too. Think of these plants as part of a layered defense, not a fairy tale. Even the best plant loses to one forgotten bucket full of rainwater. Still, some plants are far better than others. Some smell nice to us, but barely register to insects. Others carry sharp, resinous, citrusy, or minty compounds that can make mosquitoes hesitate, drift off course, or simply keep moving. And as we move up this list, the plants get stronger, more useful, more strategic, and in some cases, surprisingly powerful. Number 20 is Chrysanthemum. It looks innocent, almost too cheerful for a war against mosquitoes, but chrysanthemums have long been respected in the insect world because of the compounds linked to pyrethrins. That doesn't mean one flowering pot turns your deck into a no-fly zone. What it does mean is that chrysanthemums bring more than color. They belong to that category of plants insects tend to respect more than gardeners first assume. Tuck them near entrances, window boxes, or sunny edges where you want beauty with a hidden job, and they start earning their place. Number 19 is Marigold. This one has a sharper personality than people give it credit for. Marigolds do not just brighten a bed. Their scent is strong, a little bitter, a little wild, and much less charming to insects than it is to people who love summer gardens. They are especially useful because they are easy, generous, and low fuss. Put them around vegetable beds, border paths, or patio containers, and they create that first outer ring of resistance. Not the strongest on this list, but a smart opener and a clue that beauty and defense often grow from the same stem. Number 18 is Scented Geranium, especially the kind sold as Citronella Geranium. Now, this is where a lot of people get misled. The plant smells wonderful when touched, and that scent can absolutely be part of a mosquito-unfriendly space. But the plant itself is often oversold. If you buy one and expect the entire yard to be empty of mosquitoes, disappointment will arrive before sunset. But if you keep it in containers where people brush past it, pinch the leaves lightly, and use it as a living fragrance source close to chairs and tables, it becomes much more useful. In other words, this plant works better as an active participant than a silent decoration. Number 17 is Garlic Chives. Most people think of them as a kitchen plant first, but mosquitoes do not enjoy strong, sulfur-rich smells nearly as much as gardeners enjoy free flavor. Garlic chives pull off a rare trick. They give you edible leaves, pollinator-friendly flowers, and a pungent edge that can help make small spaces less welcoming to biting insects. They are not glamorous, but they are practical, and this whole niche is built on practical plants that do more than one job. If a plant can feed you and help protect your evening at the same time, it deserves attention. Number 16 is Sage. This one feels ancient for a reason. Sage has that dry, dusty, resinous smell that instantly suggests old gardens, hanging bundles, and kitchens full of memory. Mosquitoes tend to disagree with all that charm. Sage is especially useful in hot, sunny spots where other herbs may struggle. And here's where it becomes more than a background plant. When the leaves are brushed, clipped, or placed near where people gather, the aroma gets much more assertive. Sage is one of those plants that feels like it belongs in a self-reliant garden because it gives flavor, medicine history, resilience, and pest pressure support in one package. Number 15 is Bee Balm. Bee Balm feels almost unfair because it attracts the right insects while discouraging some of the wrong ones. It draws pollinators with that bold, nectar-rich presence, yet its strong fragrance can help make mosquitoes think twice. This is one of the most visually dramatic plants on the list, which matters more than people think. A plant that does the defensive work and looks spectacular while doing it is more likely to stay in your garden long enough to become part of your long-term system. Bee Balm is not just useful. It changes the feeling of a space. And when a garden feels alive and designed with intention, people use it more often. Number 14 is Lemon Verbena. If you know this plant, you already know why it belongs here. Lemon Verbena does not whisper. It announces itself. One touch, and the leaves release a bright, clean citrus scent that feels almost too fresh to be real. That sharp lemon profile is exactly why it earns a place in a mosquito-deterring lineup. It is one of those plants that makes you want to walk by and touch it just to wake it up. And that is perfect because the awakened scent is the point. Near patios or doorways, Lemon Verbena becomes a fragrant tripwire. Not a wall, but a warning signal in the air. Number 13 is Peppermint. Peppermint has force, not a gentle fragrance, not soft herb garden sweetness. Force. That cooling, piercing smell does not drift into the background. It cuts through it. Mosquitoes are sensitive to volatile compounds, and peppermint announces itself in exactly that language. The caution here is simple. Peppermint loves to spread. Give it open soil, and it may decide the whole bed belongs to it. So grow it in containers if you want control. That little bit of discipline turns peppermint into one of the most useful porch plants you can own. Easy to harvest, easy to smell, easy to place right where mosquitoes want to hover. Number 12 is Lemon Balm. This is where the list starts getting more serious. Lemon Balm sits at a beautiful crossroads between medicine, calm, and practical defense. The leaves release a gentle citrus scent to us, but to mosquitoes, it can be far less inviting. Gardeners love Lemon Balm because it feels generous. It grows fast, smells clean, and gives you tea, herbal tradition, and an aromatic presence all at once. Like mint, it can spread, so it is often smartest in a pot or a controlled patch. But if you want a plant that feels useful every single day and still joins your evening mosquito strategy, Lemon Balm is quietly excellent. Number 11 is Catmint. Not catnip yet. Catmint. And yes, it deserves its own spot. Catmint has that soft gray-green look people love in ornamental borders, but the fragrance tells a different story. It is mint family, aromatic, and stronger than it looks. That makes it valuable in the kind of mixed-use garden this audience loves most. One that is beautiful, useful, and quietly protective at the same time. Catmint earns points for being easier to weave into a design landscape than some harsher-looking herbs. If you want mosquito resistance without sacrificing elegance, Catmint is one of the cleverest middle-list choices. Number 10 is Basil. Basil surprises people because they know it from the kitchen, not from a mosquito discussion. But strong basil scent, especially in summer heat, gives it real value around outdoor seating and edible container gardens. This is one of the easiest ways to build a defensive herb zone without changing the soul of your space. A few pots of basil near tomatoes, doorways, or tables where you eat outdoors can make the area feel more fragrant, more alive, and less attractive to insects. And unlike many ornamental-only options, basil pays you back constantly. Every harvest for dinner is also a reminder that useful plants beat decorative emptiness every time. Number 9 is lavender. Now the countdown starts feeling rich. Lavender is a plant people are already associated with calm, sleep, and scent, but insects often read that same fragrance very differently. Lavender's oils are intense, and the plant thrives in the dry, sunny conditions that also happen to make porches and paths more usable. If you line walkways, edges, or seating zones with lavender, you get one of the best combinations on this list. Beauty, aroma, pollinator value, and a subtle insect-deterring role. Just remember, lavender is strongest when the air is warm and the flowers and leaves are releasing their oils. In other words, the hotter the evening feels to you, the harder lavender can work for your side. Number 8 is rosemary. Rosemary does not smell pretty. It smells commanding. Resinous, woody, sharp, almost like the memory of a Mediterranean hillside trapped in a leaf. And that commanding smell is part of why it belongs this high on the list. Rosemary is one of the best plants for combining food, fragrance, and defense because it is strong even before you touch it and stronger after you do. In containers near seeding areas, it becomes part herb, part low-level insect strategy. Clemson notes that rosemary oil can provide only short protection on its own, which is exactly why the whole garden approach matters. Plant scent is useful, but concentrated oils and real source control are still stronger than wishful thinking. Number 7 is thyme. Small plant, serious personality. Thyme is one of those herbs that teaches an important lesson. Never rank a plant by its size. It hugs the ground, fills gaps, spills over stones, and smells much stronger than it looks. That makes it perfect for path edges, cracks between stepping stones, or sunny containers where feet and hands naturally brush the leaves. Every little contact releases more aroma, and that repeated release is what turns a passive planting into a living system. Thyme is not just there. It responds. It wakes up when people move through the garden. That makes it far more strategic than a tall plant sitting untouched in a distant corner. Number 6 is lemon thyme. This is where ordinary usefulness becomes targeted usefulness. Lemon thyme takes the strength of thyme and sharpens it with citrus, and mosquitoes tend to dislike that kind of profile even more. If regular thyme is a quiet worker, lemon thyme is the same worker with a brighter voice. It belongs close to human movement. Porch steps, table edges, chair clusters, herb pots near the grill. It is not only about what it smells like when the wind is still. It is about what happens when someone sits down, reaches over, and brushes the plant without even thinking. That tiny interaction can turn lemon thyme into one of the most active mosquito-deterring plants in the space. Number 5 is holy basil, also called Tulsi. This is where the list starts crossing from simple garden advice into the deeper natural health world. Tulsi has history, reverence, medicinal tradition, and strong fragrance all wrapped into one plant. It is not just another basil. It carries a more complex aromatic profile and a spiritual reputation in many traditions, which is why so many people who grow it describe it with unusual affection. Around patios and garden doors, Tulsi becomes one of those plants that feels like more than landscaping. It feels intentional. It feeds the senses, supports tea and herbal practice, and adds a strong scent presence that mosquitoes do not love. That is not hype. That is a layered value. Number 4 is lemongrass. Now we are entering the heavy hitters. Lemongrass is big, dramatic, edible, beautiful in motion, and loaded with that unmistakable lemon aroma people instantly associate with freshness. But here is the real advantage. It looks like decorative grass while behaving like a working plant. That makes it perfect for viewers who want a space that feels designed, not cluttered. Put lemongrass in large pots around a seating area, flank a path with it, or use it as a seasonal privacy accent near where people gather. As the breeze moves through it, the scent's presence rises. And if you harvest it for cooking, the whole plant keeps proving the same old truth. The best defensive plants are the ones you would want even if mosquitoes didn't exist. Number 3 is Citronella Grass. Not Citronella Geranium, the real grass. This is the name most people expect to hear early, but it actually belongs high on the list because while it is famous, most people use it poorly. They buy it because of the label, then leave it far from where anyone sits, never touch it, never harvest it, never release the oils, and wonder why mosquitoes still show up. Citronella grass has a strong reputation for a reason. Its scent profile matters, but its power is practical, not magical. Use it close. Use it intentionally. Grow it where heat builds and people gather. Treat it like a living source of aromatic material, not a lawn ornament. When used that way, it earns its fame. Number 2 is catnip. This is the twist a lot of people never see coming. Catnip sounds like a joke plant, something for house cats and internet videos. But in the mosquito conversation, catnip has been taken seriously for years because of a compound called nepentolactone. That name matters less than the lesson behind it. Sometimes the plant with the strangest reputation turns out to be one of the most interesting defenders in the garden. Catnip is strong, aromatic, and surprisingly relevant to anyone building a natural barrier around porches or beds. Grow it in a controlled space, because like other mints it can spread. And if neighborhood cats take sudden interest, that is just proof that one plant can start more drama in a yard than a whole shelf of store-bought sprays. And number 1 is Lemon Eucalyptus. This is the plant that brings the strongest modern credibility to the entire conversation. Not because planting a young tree instantly clears your property, and not because crushing a random leaf gives the same effect as a formulated product, but because oil of lemon eucalyptus and PMD are recognized in official repellent guidance in a way very few plant-based options are. That makes lemon eucalyptus the plant world name with the most serious reputation in this space. If you want the strongest finish to this countdown, this is it. A plant whose scent profile points directly toward one of the best-known natural origin repellent activities. In other words, a number 1 spot goes to the plant that does not just smell powerful. It comes with modern backing that reaches beyond folklore. Now, if you noticed something while we moved up this list, you caught the real secret. The best mosquito plants are not just the strongest smelling ones. They're the ones you place with intention. The ones that live where humans actually sit. The ones you brush past, pinch, harvest, bundle, and use. A rosemary bush 20 feet away does less for you than a pot of lemon thyme beside your chair. A forgotten citronella label means very little if the plant never releases its oils. Mosquito control is not only about species. It is about placement, density, heat, movement, and whether your yard is helping them breed somewhere you forgot to check. That is why the smartest strategy is layered. First, remove standing water. Saucers, buckets, toys, clogged gutters, bird baths left stagnant, overfilled containers, anything that lets larvae hatch. Public health advice is blunt about this because it works. Second, keep air moving if you can, because mosquitoes prefer still, shaded air. Third, build your living fragrance zone with the strongest plants closest to people, not hidden out in the landscape where nobody ever touches them. And fourth, if you're using crushed leaves or essential oils on skin, do it responsibly. Some plants can irritate skin, and stronger is not always safer. Natural does not mean carelessness. So if you want the simplest version, start with 3 levels. Put marigolds or lavender around the edges for beauty and background scent. Use basil, rosemary, lemon balm, or thyme near doors, tables, and chairs for daily contact and harvest. Then anchor the high-impact zone with lemongrass, citronella grass, catnip, or lemon eucalyptus if your climate and space allow it. That is how you stop thinking like someone buying mosquito relief and start thinking like someone designing it. And maybe that is why these plants matter so much beyond the bugs. They remind you that a garden is not decoration. It is a shelter. It is a strategy. It is food, medicine, fragrance, beauty, and protection growing in the same soil. When you learn to see plants that way, you stop spending all your time reacting to problems and start building spaces that quietly solve them before they begin. If you got a mosquito-fighting plant that's working your yard, share it in the comments. And if you enjoy practical plant wisdom like this, subscribe and stay close. There's a lot more hidden value growing around us than most people ever notice.